The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 155 with Genus Ordinis Dei. Beautiful. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That's amply determined with Salem featuring Cristina Scabbia by Genus Ordinis Dei. I've got on the show with me right now. They've got a new album called Great Olden Dynasty, released via Eclipse Records last November. And right now, I'm being joined by drummer Richard Mays to share some stories about the music and more info about the band. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jan. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm super fine. Just relaxed from my last vacation in Tuscany, and yeah, I'm here.
Sounds great. Let's go listen back to that track, Salem, featuring Cristina Scabbia. From the track now, beautiful track. It's got an excellent counterbalance, obviously, between the growls and the clean singing provided by Cristina. Definitely an emotional, yet sometimes even angry and bitter track.
Yeah, I mean, this is because of the duet between my singer Nick and Cristina. They have so their voices are so different, and I love the mix.
Absolutely. Now I'm curious, what's the story or inspiration behind the track?
Okay, there are actually no super cool story about it, because we actually wrote that song, and we thought it was perfect for female featuring, and the first name that came up in our mind was Cristina Scabbia from Lacuna Coil, because not only she's the metal queen, but she's also a friend of us. We worked together, we toured together, and she was basically perfect. So we just asked her, and she said yes. We've been lucky.
Yeah, actually, one of my questions was going to be, how in the world did it come up to work with Cristina? But obviously, you guys are friends. And I'm curious, what was it like working with her on the project?
Oh, it was great, because she's a true perfectionist, and we just sent her the track with the pre-production, and in I don't know, maybe an hour, she did the song one take, and she was perfect.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious with regard to the track, with behind the lyrics. Who really came up with the story for the lyrics? Was it Cristina or was it you guys?
No, it was from us, because we have a concept album on Great Olden Dynasty, which is about some historical characters. And so we had to maintain like a storyboard, And the song is about a witch, but seen in a pagan way, not just the witch who do witchery and stuff like that, but a more like a creature connected to the nature, and yeah. And that's it. We wrote the song, the lyrics, and everything.
So she's not flying around on a broom then, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Cool. Let's go listen to the next track, Cold Water.
Blood in my
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, come back from Cold Water now. I love how you guys tease my beautiful little ears in the verse by speeding up and then slowing down. I'm like, all right, but it's beautiful. And then exploding into the chorus. It's definitely an emotional track.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, what's the story or inspiration behind the track Cold Water?
Well, Cold Water actually talks about an expedition gone wrong. And the main character got lost in the mountains, and the others are going to find him and save him. But the main character, in order to save himself, he has to eat the dead body of his friend, and it's quite tragic, quite true.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar. Is it based on a true story?
It is actually not based on a true story, but we knew later on that there is a similar story about a plane who went down, I don't know exactly where, on the mountains, and the survivors had to eat each other to save themselves.
That'll be on the next album, right?
Yeah, probably.
Perfect. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Cold Water, if you go and go to today's show notes, www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can go and see the music video for Cold Water. Now, without spoiling anything, it looks like pretty well everything you just described about Cold Water is acted out in the music video. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is correct. It has been crazy to shoot that video.
Go ahead and take us through that. Why was it so crazy?
So we just went 3 days on the Alps at 3,000 meters, and it was so cold. It was snowy, it was windy, we were dying, we were starving, and stuff like that. And so if you see us suffering, well, we were actually suffering.
Gotta put yourself into the position of it, eh?
Yeah. It was to get the part,
Absolutely. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the 2 tracks, Salem and Cold Water, there is a full album, Great Olden Dynasty, that is available. Now, I'm curious, Richard, when we go and pick up Great Olden Dynasty, what should we expect?
Well, it is an aggressive album with also a lot of space for melodies and orchestrations. It is a mix of modern metalcore, deathcore, but also with the magnificent sound of symphonic sonorities and stuff like that. And the mix is very modern, because if you are a fan of Lamb of God, Dimmu Borgir, Gojira, and that kind of music, you totally love this album.
Fantastic. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can I find out more about you guys? Is there someplace on the web that we should go?
Well, yeah, we have our website, which is genusordinisdei.com. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, and everything that's social, just typing Genus Ordinis Dei.
Cool. All right. Well, Richard, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Genus Ordinis Dei with Rock Metal Nation.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for this interview, and I hope to see you guys so soon on the road.
Metal Nation, if you just found your new favorite band in Genus Ordinis Dei, big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.